Are you new to Lightroom and you just want to import images? I'm going to show you the basics of doing that, and it's going to start right now. Hey, my name is Sean Seymour and I own a photography studio in Sacramento, California, and I was recently contacted by a friend of mine that I honestly haven't seen for 20 years, and she's really passionate about photography. What she's been doing so far is she's been viewing her images just using her browser on her computer. So I mentioned to her that she's probably going to want to take advantage of that $10 photo pack that Adobe has that includes Lightroom and Photoshop. So if you don't have that, go get it at adobe.com. The purpose of this video is to just give you the basics. If you're a beginning photographer and you're already using Lightroom, you probably want to jump over to my other video on Lightroom that will explain more how to name your folders, how to name your images, how to store everything, and also how to back it up so that years later you can find any image in any shoot that you've done and work on it like it was a current Lightroom folder. Before I get started, if you like this video, please hit the like button down below. That tells YouTube they should be showing this to other people. Also, if you want to follow my channel, I have a lot of photography tutorials and more that are coming. You can subscribe, and if you want to get a notification when I release new videos, you can hit the bell notification down below. Okay, let's get started on importing images into Lightroom. Okay, first thing you're going to do is open Lightroom, and you're going to get asked some questions, but I'm going to assume you've already gone through all of that. The next thing you're going to do is take your camera's SD card and you're going to put it in your computer. There's a lot of different ways to do that. Most computers have a slot. If there isn't a slot there, you can buy a card reader. They're very inexpensive. Hadn't really thought about this, but I guess I'll leave the link down below. Your Lightroom is probably not going to look like this with these images already in here. Normally when you pop your SD card into your computer or you connect your camera to your computer, Lightroom will automatically come up with the import screen. Now these are just some really random images of my drone that I shot just so I could give you an example of what an import looks like. Let's say that this did not pop up. And by the way, this screen looks exactly the same whether it pops up automatically or it pops up because I made it. So let's say you're in Lightroom, that screen did not automatically pop up. What you need to do is go to the library module, and that's what this library tab is up here in the top right hand corner. Go down to the bottom left hand corner and click import. This is the same screen that we just saw pop up automatically. Now I need to tell Lightroom where to find the images that I want to import. One of the things that you can do is I teach everybody to read this like they would a book. Read it from left to right, top to bottom. I'm going to click on the EOS Digital, which is essentially my SD card that I've put into my computer. Sticking with my reading from left to right, top to bottom, we're going to start here. This is telling Lightroom where to get the image from. You'll see all the images pop up. I copy as a DNG. Moving across, I need to tell it where I want this to be imported. So I'm going to click on this Photo 2 TB and choose Other Destination. For right now, I'm just going to put it on my desktop and I'm going to create a folder. And in that folder, I'm going to say Test Images. Okay, you can call this whatever you want and you can put it wherever you want. And you'll notice that it created a folder on my desktop called Test Images. I'm going to go right here to the bottom right-hand corner of this window and click Choose. The next thing you're going to do is make sure that this is on standard, and we'll discuss this later or in other videos. You're not making a second copy, you're not importing duplicates, you really don't need to rename the file. I always rename my files so that I can figure out what they are and where they came from. And if you're taking pictures of your kids or whatever, you may want to rename these files to something that makes sense, like, Justin jumping or something along those lines. Anyway, you can put that in here. I always put the date in front. Drone images. There you go. Your start number is going to be 1. We're going to leave the extensions as is. And by the way, I got to this custom naming area by clicking on this section right here. You can choose any of these, but I choose custom name and sequence. You don't need to apply anything during import, but if you want to save yourself some time and energy, you could check out my video about creating this import basic preset, which will actually apply some settings to your images before you've touched anything. It does it on its own when you're importing. Okay, you don't need to touch destination because we already told it up here where we want that destination to be, so you can close that down. And we're gonna go ahead and click import. What you'll see is that Lightroom will put these into a previous import. Lightroom will also put it in a folder that is called test images. That's how you import images from your camera into Lightroom so that you can play around with them in Lightroom. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below. Take a look at my other videos that talk a little bit more in depth on things like how to create a preset and also how to name and store and back up all of your images so you can find them years later. That's it. Until I see you on the next video, keep it simple, my friend.